Hey, Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. I know this came out a long time ago, and probably nobody's going to watch this, but whatever, because I'm really excited about it. I'm a big fan of Super 7's original line of characters, the worst. However, just budget. I say it all the time. You can't buy everything, and $55 is a big investment, and these just didn't make it into my lineup initially. But after the cancellation of G.I. Joe Unlimited Wave 6, they included a 15% off coupon with their apologies for that cancellation. And my wife gave me a $25 Super 7 gift certificate for Easter, which happened to work out because I, for no reason in particular, had already bought her, had an Easter basket ready to go for her, just for fun. It's not anything I normally do, but this year I was like, why not? That'll be neat. So it worked out. So I ordered Robot Reaper directly from Super 7 because it's one that I definitely wanted, but I've got a whole list of Thundercats and Ninja Turtles that I haven't added to the collection yet, because there's just been so much other stuff you got to prioritize. And so now we're going to take a look at this guy. The art is beautiful. You can tell how old it is because it still has the slipcover with the really nice, look at this metallic. This is actually embossed. There's a line here. It's not just printed. It's like sculpt, but in paper. And this metallic red going around the bottom. You got the Worst logo on the back. I've got a bunch of the Worst reaction figures. This is the first The Worst Ultimate that I have bought. But the art, absolutely fantastic. And then you pull up that slipcover and the figure inside. I am very excited for. Just because without the robe on, it looks so awesome. I mean, it looks great with the robe, don't get me wrong. But underneath that robe, I cannot wait to take a look at the deco and sculpt and see how great this guy looks. You've got the nice die-cut window box, very similar to a lot of the rock and roll stuff that they've done. And then on the back of the box, Robot Reaper, robotic harbinger of death. System warning, Robot Reaper, the robotic harbinger of death, has been detected. This eerie electronic emissary of external extermination is hardwired for horror and programmed for pain. A cold, calculating computer with a corrupted file, it cuts and pastes from the living column to the dead. Mercy does not compute. Each victim faces a binary decision, and Robot Reaper always chooses 0 for delete. Escape is impossible. Everyone will be powered down. Rebooting is not an option. Press any key to continue. There are good guys, there are bad guys, then there are the worst. It's just fun, man. This original line of characters is distilling Super 7's essence down to its most pure, and I love that. And I wish, I would love to own all of the Worst Ultimates, but again, you just have to make decisions. And unfortunately, I love my licensed. Ooh, this might be, depending on how shiny that is, this might be good for my thumbnail. We'll see how that turns out. You'll know that before I do. All right. This is really the ultimate expression of toys as art, because it is a playable action figure, but it is absolutely an artistic endeavor. All right, let's see what all we got in here. Got a ton of hands, of course, trademark of Super 7, and part of the greatness of their toys, the expressiveness that comes just from having those interchangeable hands. Everything's popping out really nicely. But do they take extra care when doing original properties? Because I don't think I have ever had a Super 7 figure's accessories just pop right out that cleanly. What an experience that was. All right, swipe all those off to the side. Robot Reaper has no wires holding him in, so that's great. Let's angle everything up here and Oh, wait a minute. No, I was wrong. Cleverly concealed by the color black, one plastic tab across the waist, and which I should have known, because all Ultimates have that, I believe. So the soft goods cloak is really nice. I don't know how I feel about this, because this is just never going to look right. It's not going to hang. I would have preferred plastic for the belt and just pegged on with the strands hanging down, because this is literally twine that I'm going to undo right now, because, I mean, how else are you going to get his robe off? But yeah, this is literally just twine. I'm going to have to say, not super impressed with the belt. So, I am going to take the robe off before we start messing with any articulation, because I want to be able to see what I'm doing. Oh man, this is a cool robot body. So this is what I kind of couldn't tell from the images online, is how much... Let's see, let's get that. There we go. How much of the skeleton portion of this guy was sculpt and how much of it was just paint. Like, is this a scare glow situation where he's just black with... Which I didn't think it would be, because that's not really how Super 7 rolls. But you just couldn't quite tell. Oh, man, I love this design. Let's get up close, and we'll take a look at that portrait first of all. Or I guess the default portrait at first. Kind of a squarish robot skull. Sorry, Robo Skull is something else entirely that I hopefully will be reviewing sooner than later. A squarish robot skull. Got a pretty nice range on that ball joint. Great glossy eyes that look like they're aglow. Great sculpted detail. I like the flatness here. It's something different. Look at this. You've got an actual disk drive. Now that's no way. So he includes a floppy disk that says people to delete. Oh my gosh. I had no expectation that would... And again, I've said it before, I don't look at these things too closely online. This is fantastic. I don't look at these things too closely online. If I see something I like, I just want to get it and have the experience that we're having right now. I don't want to know every detail before I even have the figure. It's like spoilers, really. Look at that. Oh, and it works so nicely too. Like the dimensions, the tolerances are just perfect there. So that slides right in, and then there's a little raised sculpt right there so that you can take your fingernail, such as it is in my case. You'll see it worked so much better last time. There we go. That is absolutely fantastic. I'm just going to leave it in there. All of the ribs are sculpted. I'm going to be really careful with that shoulder. There we go. So standard, well, I say standard. Everything here is just completely new sculpting, so nothing is really standard. Like, it's a standard style with the bicep swivel and the shoulder joint, but these parts are all incorporating them. And because it's a robot, it all works. It all looks good. Nothing is messing up the profile of the character. Got a surprisingly deep bend for such a recessed joint, which is nice. But yeah, all of those painted bones or suggestions of bones, it's all sculpt. great. Look at the detail on that hand. And that was, looking at images online, I was like, man, I can tell how much sculpted detail is in those hands, and I really can't on the body. I just can't tell what's going on with the bones, but it is all sculpt. I love this joint right here. The way that those pistons go up into it. It just looks great. And look at the turn. So the way that's designed, the rotation, because they could have just done a standard swivel here and it wouldn't have been terrible, but the raised sculpt of the hips stops that turn right there, but then it continues a bit, so you have a really nice range of motion for that torso. The hip joints, I will call those standard Super 7 because you've got a swivel right up there, but then the top of the thigh turns, and then you've got a hinge that does the standard hip joint thing. Works very well. And then the knees, you can see sort of a C3PO style knee joint. Well, scary. Those are not wanting to bend, so I'm going to heat those up. You can see it's painted. I bet that paint has seized that joint up. Oh, it does have a little bit of turn at the top. Not much, though. It's not going to do a whole lot for you. It's really just where that's pegged in, that where the disc is pegged into the thigh, I guess. Yeah, I'm going to heat that up. And then the feet, great. Actually, it's kind of creepy looking foot. Pretty decent range there, and then standard, it's got the peg with the disc, so standard modern articulation on the feet. Love it. I love it. All right, let's heat up those knees because I really want to get those bent. All right, so that did the trick, and the knees have the full range here. You can see a little bit of paint. So they just straight up painted over the knee joints, which everything pulled off on this one, but then on this side you can see, which is kind of gross. Like, don't do that. I'm gonna have to go in there with an X-Acto and clean that up, which is nonsense. I shouldn't have to do that. As the commenters will say, on a $55 toy, and you know what? They're not wrong. But full range, everything looks good there now. So there is our Robot Reaper base figure. Let's take a look at some of the accessories, or I guess all of the accessories. We have one alternate head that is just a cool, like, space helmet type situation. Not going to use it, but could be used on other Super 7 Ultimates if you so desire. And then an alternate skull that I really like. I particularly like the side, like the kind of this panel looking like it's been removed or is missing. This one is awesome, but it just doesn't have as much personality. I kind of wish the one on the left had the red eyes, though, because I really like the teeth on this one. But this is the winner. It's creepy, vaguely reminiscent of maybe what the final form of one of the cyborg people from Superman 3 would have been, which is horrifying and creepy. So we already saw the floppy disk that goes in the head. And then we've got just this icon of the hourglass. All sculpted detail. Looks great. I dig that. That doesn't, like, slot in anywhere, does it? Does it? Could it go in there? I don't know why it would. doesn't necessarily make sense. Okay, no, and there's no reason for it to go in there. It just seems like with it being so narrow, I'm just not sure what I've got knee paint all over. Oh my gosh, knee paint all over my hands. Not quite as bad as the glitter bomb I got, but not great. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're supposed to do with this, to be honest. I guess he just holds it. Oh my gosh, this stuff is not going away. And then a Game Boy, which is, or excuse me, I'm sure this is a gaming fellow or something. I don't know. But I love it. Great accessory. Can definitely be used with other toy lines. Matter of fact, somebody from G.I. Joe Classified may end up with this. A scythe hand attachment that I'm probably not going to be using because I like the actual scythe so much, but I mean, that's pretty killer. Pun intended, I guess, and apologized for. He has got fists for punching, as any good action figure should. Pointing hands, which I'm probably going to be using the pointing hand, or a pointing hand. And then C-grips. And then finally kind of an open gesturing hand, which is also really nice. And that leaves, of course, the tool of the Reaper with two handles on it, which I like. So you can really have him going in for the all-in reaping action. Let's go. Let's see what we can get done here. And be careful with that. Oh wait, the gesturing hand I just picked up was his other default hand. Of course it was. Alright, let's see what kind of cool two-handed reaping pose we can get this guy in. I'm trying to think in my head, like, wait a minute, how does one hold a scythe two-handed? But I think something like this. I kind of want... Now I don't know. Okay, wait. No, that's not right. So yeah, it's got to be both hands going that way. So I guess it's got to be like that. I have never scythed. I've never reaped. So I don't know. I don't have any expertise in this area. So there you go. I'm going to go with... I'm probably going to display him with the robe on just because, like, as great as all the sculpt looks, being a Reaper, I feel like he's got to have the robe, right? I don't know. I think I'm just going to have him holding the scythe upright. Something like this. I don't know. There's a lot of possibility here. I like this guy. Very happy to have it. Now I want the rest of the worst, which is, of course, the problem, the potato chip problem that you have with toys, is once you get one, then you want more. But that is Robot Reaper. I realize I'm late to the game on this one and I'm not going to get any views, but I don't care. I had fun unboxing it and I'm thrilled to have it. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about Needless Things. And until next time, buy the toys you like. And don't fear the Robot Reaper. Or actually do fear him. Look at that guy. Ooh.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.